If you've enjoyed the triathlon at the Tokyo Olympics so far, then I've got good news for you. There's still more to come. The mixed relay event is making its debut at the Olympics this year and takes place on Saturday, the 31st of July. The mixed relay has really gained in popularity over the past few years due to its fast-paced, unpredictable and spectator-friendly nature. For those of you who are new to the niche world of triathlon, let me explain what the mixed relay actually is. You may have heard of a triathlon relay where a different person does each leg of the race and hands over to the next person after the swim or the bike. The mixed relay, though, is not this type of relay. Instead, each member of the relay team completes a mini triathlon before handing over to their next teammate. There's no baton to hand over like in the 4x100 metre athletics relay though, that'd be very inconvenient. Teams are made up of 4 triathletes, 2 men and 2 women, all from the same nation. The team can choose the order in which the athletes complete their mini triathlon to a certain extent, but the order must go woman-man, woman-man. It's a mass start format with the first leg triathletes all starting at the same time. The first team to complete all 4 legs wins, obviously. Because of this format, there are a few key differences between the individual triathlon events and the mixed relay. 1. It's faster. The athletes are racing over much shorter distances than the individual races, so there is less emphasis on pacing. 2. It's less predictable. There are definitely stronger and weaker teams, but there is so much depth of talent in triathlon at the moment, spread across so many nations, that it's hard to predict the winning team. Not only do you have the added tactical aspect of deciding the team order, being a relatively new discipline, you often see new innovative approaches like those platform pedals that New Zealand used a couple of years ago to win bronze in the Commonwealth Games. 3. It places more emphasis on all-round triathlon ability. The individual Olympic races are often criticised for being a glorified 10k race due to the drafting that takes place. Originally, and in the longer Ironman races nowadays, the bike segment was non-drafting, which usually resulted in the winner being the ones who are the best across all 3 disciplines. In the mixed relay though, gaps open up far more often, meaning particularly the athletes doing the later legs will have to be strong all-rounders to really deserve the win. And 4, everyone does these really cool dives. In Tokyo, the triathletes will have to complete a mini triathlon consisting of 300 metre swim, a 6.8 kilometre bike and a 2 kilometre run. On average, I'd expect this to take in the region of 20 minutes per leg. In total, there'll be 17 teams on the start list. The athletes in each team have not yet been released, however we can make a pretty good guess for most teams. So who are the favourites? Well, France are the current world #1 team and world champions. They should line up with world champion Vincent Louis and Dorian Connix, who finished in 12th and 17th in the men's race, and Leonie Perriot, who finished 5th in the women's, and Cassandra Beaugrand, who, despite DNFing in the individual, is an extremely good runner. Great Britain have already claimed 2 medals from the individual races. For the men, Alex Yee took 2nd and Johnny Brownlee 5th, whilst Georgia Taylor-Brown also took silver, with Jess Learmonth 9th in the women's. It's worth noting though that Christian Blumenfeld of Norway and Flora Duffy of Bermuda, who won the individual races, will not feature in the mixed relay as their nations have not qualified a team. Team USA will also be hoping for a medal, with Katie Safiras, individual bronze medalist, and Summer Rappaport, who finished 14th. For the men, they have Kevin McDowell and Morgan Pearson, who finished 6th and 42nd, although Pearson's 42nd is definitely not representative of his true capability. Australia are the current Commonwealth Games champions and should start with Jake Birtwistle and Matt Hauser for the men and Emma Jeffcoat and Ashley Gentle for the women, another team without a real weakness. Germany also bring a strong team with Laura Lindemann and Anna Knoll, 8th and 31st in the individual, and Jonas Schomburg and Justus Nieschlag, who were 38th and 40th in the individual, but are generally a lot better over the shorter distances. There's also New Zealand, who I think are somewhat dark horses for the race. On the men's side, they have Hayden Wild and Taylor Reid, 3rd and 18th, and Nicole Vandekay and Amy Thorpe for the women. They're a very smart racing team, and I expect they'll have their order and tactics perfectly thought out. And if they can make it to the last leg with Hayden Wild still in the mix, I think they'll have a really good chance. So to finish, my tips for the podium are Great Britain in 1st, although I am British, so take that as you will, USA 2nd, and New Zealand 3rd. Let's see how wrong I am.